in this short video, I am going to explain the differences between a cathode and an anode. So the first point under cathode is, cathode is the electrode at which reduction takes place. So for anode, it is the electrode at which oxidation takes place. Now reduction means electronation, which is electron gain, and for anode, oxidation takes place. So oxidation means de-electronation or loss of electron. So oxidation means de-electronation and reduction means electronation. Cathode is the electrode at which reduction takes place and anode is the electrode at which oxidation takes place. So this is the definition for cathode and anode. You cannot define cathode and anode using any sign that is a negative and positive, because the sign convention depends upon the device which we are talking about. If we are talking about a galvanic cell, the sign convention is different, and if we are talking about an electrolytic cell, the sign convention will be something other. So this will be the second point, that is the sign convention of cathode and anode. So for a galvanic cell, the cathode is positive, and for anode, the anode is negative for a galvanic cell. Now let's move on to, for an electrolytic cell, the cathode is negative and anode is positive for the electrolytic cell. So in a galvanic cell or a voltaic cell, the electrons generated due to oxidation flow through an external wire from anode to cathode. At the cathode, electrons are consumed due to reduction. Hence, the anode in a galvanic cell is given a negative sign, as the negatively charged electrons flow away from it. So the cathode is a positive charge. And for an electrolytic cell, in case of an electrolytic cell, an external DC source transfers the electrons from the anode to the cathode, as a result of which the anode becomes positively charged and the cathode is negatively charged. So for an electrolytic cell, the anode is positive and the cathode is negative, as I have shown here. For an electrolytic cell, the cathode is negative and the anode is positive. So these were the differences between cathode and anode. At last I will show a diagram so you can easily remember that at anode oxidation takes place and at cathode reduction takes place. So you can easily remember it by remembering this red cat and ox. Red cat indicates cathode, reduction, oxidation, anode. Red cat and ox. I also have a diagram which shows the cat at the cathode position and the ox at the anode position. So remember, cathode, reduction, oxidation, anode. So this was all about cathode and anode. Thank you.